is when my crack ties cease. People look away when they pass by me. Drowning, I died inside last night's dream. The water turned black when they baptized me. The warmest part of the shade. That was about a specific set of people out in the world. Ones that had the opportunity to become champions, but they chose not to become champions because they don't want to sit down on their throne. They don't want to accept their gold. They don't want to go out there and have to live up to everything that they've built for themselves. So they find ways to just hover on that line. It's that darkness, that shade, and then it's that sunlight. So these people hang out on the line where the shade meets the sunlight, which is the brim, which is the cusp, which is the warmest part of the shade. And that's where a lot of the population in the world hangs out, bro, because for some reason they just don't feel like they deserve to shine. And if you feel like that, your subconscious mind gonna make it true. You gotta find a way to cross over. I gotta find a way to cross over, man. I've been so infatuated with bullshit my entire life that it was like, I really just could have won. I had to go to the long route so I could prove to motherfuckers how much a gorilla I was. It's just I took the, okay, put it like this. So now let's say LeBron, instead of going from the Cavs to Miami, and then from Miami to the Cavs, and then Cavs to the Lakers. Let's say at the end of his Laker run, he just decided to go to Sacramento, because he wanted to prove that he could take a team like Sacramento to the finals. That's what the fuck I did. What the fuck was I doing? Why did I do that? I did that, and I gotta admit it, and I gotta live with it. So I still deserve the trophy. I put in ample hours, but I was being ridiculous. That was my ego, trying to make shit a little harder than just focusing on the win and getting the win. The win was gonna be hard enough. I didn't have to go to fucking Sacramento to get it. And I gotta live with that decision. But I do believe in it. What goes around comes around. And all the hard work that's been put in, all the sacrifices, all the faces that I met on that road in Sacramento, I think all of it's gonna come to a beautiful end. Like, I just gotta be alive when it come around.
I'm talking to the people that can make it and choose not to.
It's a little homie in the hood right now. I ain't gonna say his name. I call him Little. He's a beast at football. He played for a good school, and the school got the ability to help get him to where he want to go based off the sport. He want to gangbang, look. He want to be in the hood because he grew up like that. It was rough for him. So I get it. We all understand that. But look, these peers don't have the same ability that Lil got. He fast, Lil, he agile. He can think on his feet. He can play the game like they can't play the game. So if Lil got an opportunity to go to and his peers don't, why is Lil spending more time in the hood than his team? You know what I'm saying? That's who I'm talking to. I'm talking to them. So when the shit fumble and break down, you can't cry and say, woe is me. You gotta look at it and say, damn, I hung out on the warmest part of the shit. I came up in the darkness, but you wasn't meant to stay in the darkness. That's why it's a 3-part series. Living in the dark, warmest part of the shade, and lights please. I think every human being is multi-talented. I think some may outshine others. I tried different companies before that was failing. I started this with the idea, like thinking like, okay, I'm about to get all this shit going and I'm gonna use the money from that and funnel it into my music career and then build it up like that. Because taking money from the street and then going directly into music, if I don't strike gold with music, it's gonna keep me in the street.
Right.
So I didn't want to be one of them dudes as time went by, become 30, 40, 50 years old, and I didn't have nothing. So I was like, well, I'm gonna build something simultaneously.
Right.
Which that takes concentration away from what you're really trying to do. And the crazy thing about it is I didn't know that these companies, these entities, they call it business entities for a reason. I didn't know that they had lives of their own. So when you start an entity, a company, a business, it has a life of its own. You got to breathe energy into it.
Yeah.
So as I'm pulling in money, I'm constantly spending money because something went wrong here. This folded here. This person. So I've been having to keep my company going, doing different things, different methods or whatever. as far as accomplishing a music company that I can feed families, not just mine, but multiple families off of. So I didn't look at it as an unrealistic goal. I looked at it was like, this is what I wanted to do. But it was other shit going on, like the bills. And those different things affected my mentality coming up to where it was like I had to live in reality. This wasn't about getting the best pair of sneakers so I could impress the pretty girl in middle school or high school. Or this was really about, am I gonna eat today? And then there was a turning point where I just couldn't be a bum. And being a bum happens in a different way depending on how you think or how you view things. For instance, if you like a street cat and you got like a whole bunch of money or whatever, and then but you living with your girl, maybe she on Section 8 public housing, maybe she's not, but you living with her, your name is not on anything. You don't have a name on your car, you don't got a name on your property or whatever, and you think that that's cool because you ducking the IRS or whatever, whoever. But in actuality, you don't have anything that's real. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have anything that's of value or real, or your name on anything, you really like a bum, especially if your income is based off paper money. So that was one of the reasons why I decided to build these companies. But I'm not gonna front. I'm not talking from a glamorous standpoint with the companies at this point in time, because they've been taking so much time and energy, and I just want to really create music, man. I was too afraid of getting to a particular age and not having nothing. So I have to give respect to certain starving artists who stick it out being poor and doing a thing and capturing their dream. Maybe they don't get as high, you know, in society or life as they want to be, but maybe the art that they set out to, accomplish, maybe that was perfect for them. Sometimes I don't even want to talk or deal with people. I feel like even trying to express or explain how I feel, just for them to not understand, is a waste of breath. Everything in the beginning of the album is on something that I call the lunar cycle. The lunar cycle is when I wrote the album, my intentions, my meditative thoughts, and the time of day that I wrote it was at nighttime. So when I did that, I was trying to harness a sound and a vibration that would be conducive to somebody riding at night. So when you listen to Feelings Are the Problem, So Much Jealousy, Plant the Seed, How Much a Hater Costs, all of that is designed to be listened to at night. Music, that's what I'm looking at. It's a color scheme to me, and that's gonna dictate the flow of the album. Like, for instance, this song right here, Designers. This is brown.
Yeah.
Listen. She worship many gods and I ain't good with pagans. Chanel and Gucci like her son, Prada go to say. Wrote this with the envisionment of the summertime vibe, cookouts, barbecues. I must admit, this is more than so as we roll to this, we feel a little bit better as we ride. Putting green in the skies under northern lights. I just think it's real ironic though that when you put a thought or impression into something, people can pick up on that and not even know what you really intended to have happen. Oh shit. Everybody's motivations be different.
What's yours?
Music. I don't really care too much about nothing else. So in the record I say, feelings are the problem, let the ganja touch the ceiling. Never make the decision in the emotional state. A lot of shit that go on in the street is all emotional based shit. It's funny because you hear these youngsters and even some of these older motherfuckers, they be talking about, I'm heartless, I'm cold-hearted, I'm a demon. All this shit that would make them seem like they've conquered the emotion. But all of it is a microcosm of the emotion. So when they feel disrespected, they willing to crash out and jump off the bridge and create this tumultuous environment because they have not conquered their emotion in it. So the name of the song being Feelings Are a Problem is to show you that no matter what lifestyle that you live, whether it's a righteous one or an unrighteous one. If you can put it in perspective and keep the right mentality within that line of work, then you can ultimately become successful. But when you add them emotions into it, you gotta be careful.
I've been swimming through the mirror, searching for a purpose, serving out the Chevy, but don't know if it's worth it. Damn, I'm feeling worthless, depressed and I'm hurting.